You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
What's up, everybody? I have been so excited for our date today. I put on my best D&D shirt. I put on my cologne. I'm all ready to sweep you off your feet. Leonard, what is going on? Look at all these people. I love you guys in the chat. You're the best. It's so good to see you guys. You know what? It's another great day on the EXP, and it's a Wednesday. That's why you're seeing your boy here. And, of course, I have another awesome creator. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about all the awesome stuff that they make. And then, of course, we're going to do some trivia and see who tonight's winner is. So I think that's quite enough out of me. So why don't we watch the opener and get straight on to talking to John Dexter. See you in just a sec.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
John, what's up, man?
How's it going? Long time no see.
I know, dude. I know. Yeah, no, I've been good. How about yourself?
Good. Really busy. I got a Kickstarter going, and then it was just announced last week that I've been picked up by a publisher. So it's been a pretty crazy, busy time.
Oh, let's start with that. That's pretty freaking awesome. Do you know?
Yeah,
are you allowed to say which publisher?
Yeah. Yes, it was. They made the announcement last week. Source Point Press will be publishing my Alpha Dogs right now, the trade paperback. So that's going to be released in bookstores and comic book stores January 14th. So it's been pretty crazy and pretty awesome. You know, it's always the dream of any comic book writer is to get a publisher. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
And Source Point have put out some great books. So you're one amongst a really great group of stuff. So good for you, man.
Thanks. It's a long time coming. And like I said, I got my Dime Store Detective issues 1 through 4 out right now. And if Alpha Dogs is a success, then they'll publish Dime Store Detective. So there's going to be very big. So we'll see what happens. I've been already making calls trying to get bookstores. So if anybody's out here, your LCS, tell them to pre-order Alpha Dogs. It's a great graphic novel that we can dive into anytime you want.
Do you have the pre-order code already?
Yes, I do actually. So
put it in the comments, and we'll and everybody, please share that out. Check it out on your LCS. We have talked about Alpha Dogs before on my show, right? Yeah. I don't know if it was this one. I'm on my other one.
Yeah, it was your other one. It was quite a long time ago, but yeah. It's I started it. I think I went on a show like 2022. I want to say it's been a few years. So it's been a long road going, but it's pretty exciting. It was a pretty exciting week. So it was my birthday that week too. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great way to celebrate.
Yes, it was pretty cool. It was very, very cool. And the cool thing is every year I got to get a PET scan to make sure I'm okay. And that week too, I had a good, clean PET scan. So it was one of the best weeks in maybe, I couldn't tell you how long. So,
dude, well, congrats. That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I just finished the other day sending out my last Space Cruising. That's my other series. Issue 1 was on Kickstarter a couple months ago, so I mailed that last one out, and I got a lot of good reviews for it. People have really been enjoying that one too. So that's my 3 titles behind me right there.
That's awesome. But our audience is realizing that you and I are effectively kind of a yin yang going on right now. The black and white.
I got
all black, all white.
Yeah, that's funny. Go ahead.
Tell us about Dime Store Detectives then.
Yeah, so Dumpster Detective, it's a supernatural crime mystery, something that really isn't explored that much in comic books. It's very unique. So I have one of the issues right behind me. This is one of the covers. The covers are killer.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it's
Who's your artist?
So for this cover it was Fernando Malik. He's my artist for the interior work of Alpha Dogs. Alfredo Redmare is the interior work
Okay.
artist for it. They're out of Source Point Press. Source Point Press they do all my comics. They're masters of it. So, but yeah, it's a crime mystery. So whenever we're in color here, we're in the present when Detective Donald McIntyre is on the hunt for a serial killer. And whenever we're in black and white, as you see here, it's when we flash back to when the Detective McIntyre is 8 years old, raised by moonshiners. So the story opens up with the third victim of this serial killer. She's left in this pose in the north woods of Georgia. So the story takes place in Georgia. If you like stories with moonshiners and like I said, if you like supernatural stories or crime mysteries, then you'll really enjoy it. And it's gotten bigger, more of a following each issue that goes on. So we're getting close to funded. We're about 82% right now. We still got 12 days to go. And the cool thing about Kickstarter is you can back it now and don't have to worry about paying for it till Kickstarter ends. So which has got its good and its bad, I'm sure.
Of course.
So Detective McIntyre, he finds this third victim of a serial killer in the Appalachian Mountains, and she's left over the burial grounds. The detective's father and uncle buried multiple bodies 40 years ago when they were involved with this moonshiner war. So we go back and forth, as I said, from the past to the present. And in 1981, Detective McIntyre's family were moonshiners, four generations of it, salt of the earth people. They were kind of feared and respected in the community. And this gang comes in, the Dixie Mafia, which was a real gang, actually.
Wow.
If you ever heard of the Walking Tall,
Yeah.
So that's based on, now obviously the Rocks version has been Hollywoodized, but there is an original version of a true story. And these guys were drug runners. They were hitmen. They were like think of the New York Mafia, but of the South. This was a real gang. And so these guys go in to push this family out of business, but they're not gonna, go quietly into the night. And in the issues that come, the father and uncle of the detective go into the Appalachian Mountains. They find this hidden cave. And inside this cave is this evil entity that's been trapped by the Cherokee for hundreds of years. And of course, there's a hieroglyphics kind of warning that you can see on this really cool cover. There's what it looks like the cave, and they release it. And I'd not to give too much away, but it of course raises all kinds of hell.
Yeah.
And in the present, this malevolent entity may or may not have returned. So Detective McIntyre has to try to make the connection of the serial killer. There's a cult that gets involved with, kind of think of like Epstein Island sort of thing. But it's got a lot of mystery to it. It's really exciting. And like I said, people that have read it have really enjoyed it. I was able to get a publisher too, so it must be okay.
Yeah, right. So what made you want to take these very different genres and kind of put them all together? Like what inspired this?
Well, I've always been a fan of hard-boiled, the old detective stories of Humphrey Bogart, like LA Confidential, True Detective. I've always been a fan of noir. So I always wanted to tell that type of story. So the genesis of Dumpster Detective actually was about right before they got Bin Laden. If you recall, they were trying to look in the Afghanistan caves for him. That's where he was supposed to be hidden. And I remember reading how some of the caves were so dense that some of them had never been explored. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if like a group of Marines ended up in there looking for him and find this cave and release this evil entity that's been trapped in there. And I just wasn't happy with it. There wasn't enough meat on the bone, so I just kind of let it sit. And I then listened to a podcast about the Dixie Mafia, and I thought, oh my God, why has nobody ever told this story of these guys? It's so fascinating. It's like the New York Mafia, but of the South. They're mostly prevalent in Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia, and so it's kind of just all kind of came together. And I wanted to tell the story about this son that the detective in this story who never gives up on his father, and it's the theme of this connection between a father and a son. The father is vilified as a murderer, and he's a rum runner, but the son never gives up on his dad, and he kind of carries that torch to try to I don't want to give too much of the story away, but to make people believe that his father is not this murderer that everybody's been led to believe. So it's got a lot of heart. And like I said, you're not going to find another comic like it on the shelves. I've always tried to pride myself on writing very original stories. So like I said, hopefully people will enjoy it. So far, I've had a lot of positive feedback, and if you go to YouTube and type in Dime Store Detective Review, there's a lot of reviews, a lot of glowing reviews for it. People have really enjoyed it. So you don't take my word for it. I also post reviews that independent comic book sites have put on there, saying that it's a really good story.
That's pretty great, man. That's awesome. What kind of, do you have any special rewards on the Kickstarter that you're super excited about, or that you think that fans would be really excited about?
Yeah. So if you go to the Kickstarter, which I really am a proponent for, because there's an awesome trailer. If you type in Dime Store Detective, there's probably a link in here for the Kickstarter. There's a really cool trailer, and there's some really fun rewards. The covers are killer. The guys do just a terrific job with the covers, but you can get the trade paperback of Alpha Dogs, so you won't have to pre-order it. You can get the graphic novel before it goes into stores, and you can also get Space Cruise in issue 1, and of course all 4 issues of Dime Store Detective. That's one of the tiers, and it's a relatively I think cheap tier considering what a lot of Kickstarter comics are going for. You can get cover A for only $12. It's a 24-page comic. There's 2 other variants that are really, really fun. They're only a few bucks more. You can get the special edition, which I sign the comic, and your name is on the thank you page. So your name's in the comic book, and that's only $2 more if you do that. So, there's a really lot of fun rewards. There's actually original pages from Dime Store Detective issue 2. So issue 1 was hand drawn, and half of issue 2 was hand drawn. Then after that, everything's been digital. So there's only, a few of these original artwork pages, and, who knows, I'm not saying it's going to, but hopefully, it gets popular, and then maybe those pages, original art pages will be worth something. I don't know that. So I'm only offering 5 of them because you want to keep those only artwork original have for my comics. So I'm keeping most of them, but I do have 5 that I'm offering on this Kickstarter to raise the funds to get this sucker funded.
That is pretty cool. And you know what? I know that we have a lot of original art fans here. So guys, if you are into OA, check it out. Take a look. I have looked at the art, not the actual original art, but I have looked at the art for the book, and it's really good. Like you really do have some talent working on it. So man.
Yeah, they're great artists, and like I said, if anybody that likes like TV shows like Supernatural, LA Confidential, True Detective, the TV show Supernatural, then they'd really enjoy Dime Store Detective. There's a really cool mystery in it, and then like I said, we go back and forth, and from the black and white, I wanted to have that old school noir feel, and even the coloring has got that gritty look to it that I think people really will enjoy for a comic book.
So what do you think it is about the hard-boiled detective that gets you? Like what do you think it is about that excites you and probably other fans too?
Yeah, it's no BS, it's a stark look, it's a gritty look at people of life. You don't have all this flowery stuff, it's not this love story. I mean, there's a love story in it, but it's a secondary, there's 2 genres I don't care for. personally, I don't like romantic stories, and I don't like downers. When you watch a movie or when you read a comic book, it's escapism. You want to escape. It's just you sit back and enjoy yourself. So I guess that's one reason. But I just love that Detective Mackinder, in a lot of senses, that detective who's against the department. He goes his own way. He's got his own path. He doesn't play the politics that a lot of people do. His captain hates him. He's the ire of City Hall because they have their own big boys club, and they have their brass ring, and he's not interested in that. And I'm just like that, that in those, like the Humphrey Bogarts, were the lone man against the corruption of the city, and the lone man when the odds are stacked against him. There was the finale of LA Confidential was so great when they get lured into that place and have that shootout. And when you watch the movie, it's like no way they're coming out of this alive. And so I just love that grittiness to the noir, the hard-boiled stories. You've got the girl, and in this story too, you don't know what side she's playing. His girlfriend. So I just love that type of story. It's not really done a lot, and I believe with Absolute Detective, it's got that, but it's also a fresh spin on that genre with the supernatural angle that really isn't done, to the best of my knowledge, in noir. I'm sure someone would say, "Oh, yeah, but that movie." But that's the one
I would say supernatural. You're right, but also the Deep South. Like that's another angle of the detective that we don't usually see. Usually, they're in like a bigger city, like in New York, even like a San Francisco or something like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's
to do that in the South, that's a cool, very different take. Did you do a lot of research into Georgia and kind of what else was going on at that time?
Yeah, so I actually worked before I did the job I'm doing now. I worked road construction, so every winter we would go down to Georgia and work because the summer. I'm from Michigan, so I live in Michigan. It's too cold to work in the winter, so we would go down to Georgia. I love Georgia. I love that. There's a whole mystical aspect to the Appalachian Mountains. There's always those stories that people disappear, and you've got the Bigfoot and whatnot. So there's definitely urban legends that take place in the Appalachian Mountains, and so I wanted to kind of key into that for the story because I had to have a cave and I had to have a city that was a dry county, which Georgia was back then in 81. And I had to have for the story, moonshiners, and all kind of fit in. That was just the perfect location. I always say Absolute Detective is kind of like a really dark version of a episode of the Dukes of Hazzard because you've got these two, they're brothers, not cousins, and they drive this souped up 73 Barracuda as their getaway car because, of course, as most everybody knows, that's how NASCAR started. And the cool thing, the car is a kind of a character in the story. I wanted something like Kid or the Supernatural car. The car kind of is a character. So the car that the moonshiners use to get away from the cops is passed down to the detective in the present. So in the present, he's driving that same car. And it's I don't have a picture of it, but yeah, if you go to the Kickstarter, you'll see the car. It's pretty badass.
JD had an interesting question. He asked, "Do you listen to the podcast Old Gods of Appalachia?"
No, I've never heard of it.
He highly recommends it from what you've been talking about. So that might be one we want to check out.
Yeah, I probably would enjoy it then. Yeah, because
it's Old Gods of Appalachia. Yeah, and that just sounds cool.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, there's a really cool salt of the earth people, back then, now today, but it's something I like delving into stories that are not explored. I don't want to write the same thing that you've seen a million times. I really try to pride myself into writing something that you're not going to see on the shelf.
Yeah, and I think that's important, or at least if it is something you've seen before, do your own take.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think that's really smart, man, and I like that. I like that a lot. So do you have I guess, have you played, like, I'm thinking of this, would a game like LA Noire mix up well with this? Have you ever seen that game?
I've heard of it. I
Oh.
don't play video games, to be honest.
Okay.
I have a full-time job, plus I do comics, so I have no extra money. You know?
But if you ever get the chance, I think that's one that you would enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I have heard of it, and it looks cool. So yeah, that
Yeah.
probably be right up my alley. I think, isn't it like a role-playing game or something like that, or like
No, well, it's like a Grand Theft Auto style game. Only you're actually a cop, and you're in late 1940s L.A.
oh, cool, yeah.
And so it's just really interesting. The Black Dahlia murder, like all sorts of really cool stuff they go into. So yeah, really interesting. And of course, Fallout of World War II. So yeah, man, definitely something else that if you ever get into video games, that's a one that you would, I think, really enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I think I would too. I love the old Humphrey Bogart, multi-smoking and the enforcer, and that's in the story. His nickname, Mackinder's nickname, is Mac, which is a take on the 1940s. Instead of saying "dude," they say "Hey, Mac." So
yeah,
that's one. Plus, it's a really, really cool guy I knew from high school who passed away. His last name was Mackinder, so it's kind of twofold tribute to him. Plus, a kind of shout out to the old 1940s gritty, the 1940s detective gumshoe movies that were so fun to watch. I was kind of raised up. So.
Right? That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
So what else do you have going on? Like, you're finishing up this, you got Alpha Dogs. Do you have any other stuff that, like, what are you working on next?
So after Dumpster Detective is done, I was planning on going right into Alpha Dogs issue 5. I actually showed her the cover. It was the Days of Future Past homage, which looks really cool. If you go to my Facebook, you'll see it. But because of this publisher, getting the publisher, I'm really trying to work. There's thousands of comic book stores. I think like 2,000, something like that. There's bookstores. So I'm really going to focus on, probably for the time being, getting the word out to all, because I'm going to call them. I've already emailed like 50 of them this week to try to order the book, the trade paperback of Alpha Dogs, because I need that exposure. It's just me, and I'm just a little guy, so it's tough to get the word out. So it's going to basically me making a lot of phone calls, and so hopefully, worst case scenario, I'll probably roll in early 2025 with Alpha Dogs 5, unless I can fit it in before the holidays, because for me, the holidays are really bad for Kickstarter. So
I mean, I think they are for most people. So I totally get it, man. Yeah. I would honestly say, if you're not ready to make it your full-time job over the holidays, just wait until like February or so.
Yeah, and that's when early March is when the conventions really kick off. So that'd be a good way to. What I do is I hand out flyers saying, hey, whenever they purchase one of my comics, I put in stuff in a flyer for whatever Kickstarter I've got going on. So
that's smart.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I just started doing it this last 2. So, but that's probably what I'm going to do, because I really, this is, you don't get a lot of second chances. So this will be my first chance. So I really want to make it Alpha Dogs to really blow up for the direct market, which would be cool. And then hopefully, maybe get into Lunar or Diamond. I don't know. Source Point Press right now, we're going through Simon & Schuster is where you can order Alpha Dogs right now. So you can go on there right now and pre-order it, but or you can just get on the Kickstarter that's going on right now. So that'll be next, Alpha Dogs 5, and then I'm hoping to fit in issue 2 of Space Cruising, and then Dinosaur Detective issue 5 is actually being drawn right now.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be 8 issues when it's all said and done. Dinosaur Detective, it's a mini series, and this will be the halfway point. So
okay. So is this then? Are you going to kind of turn it into 2 trade paperbacks, or is the idea eventually to finish it and just have it as a graphic novel?
I don't know yet. It's kind of up in the air. It really kind of depends on how the Kickstarter does, and a lot of other factors. I don't know if I might split it in half and do that. But you're trying to push out, get the story out. So that's going to be extra months. I'm not sure yet. Right now, I'm just kind of concentrating on getting issue 4 funded and moving on to Alpha Dogs, because it's been a long time since there's been a new issue of Alpha Dogs, because I went right from the trade to Space Cruise into Dinosaur Detective Force. So there hasn't been a new issue of Alpha Dogs like a year, which really kind of stinks, because I never think it's a good idea to wait too long.
I feel you there.
A new issue, but boy, I probably shouldn't do 3 titles at the same time. That's probably what is the issue for me. I just got so excited because Space Cruising was originally done in 2009 and 2009, 2012, which would have been my first comic book, my second one, but I ended up running out of funds just before this was before Kickstarter. So I've kind of put on the back burner, and then due to the success of the trade of Alpha Dogs, I was able to finish Space Cruise. And so it's really cool to have 3 titles that you have a lot of passion for. That, Space Cruising I was a teenager when I created, I was probably 13 when I created Space Cruising. So to see that come into print, and the covers, like I said, I couldn't ask for a better artist.
That's cool.
They're fantastic. And it's a fun story too. And like I said, you can get that with the Kickstarter.
So you've got, what kind of genre would you give Alpha Dogs?
It's more, well, I guess you consider the superhero genre, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I hate to say you're not really supposed to say this meets this, but
I'll let you get away with it this once.
Okay. So it's kind of like Incredible Journey meets the X-Men, but with dogs.
Okay.
I suppose you could say. So Alpha Dogs is about this dog that has the ability to heal from any wound. He's smart enough to understand human speech, and he has a heightened strength. Him and his owner are on the run from mercenaries that are attempting to kidnap him to manipulate his powers. And the story with Genesis was we had lived in Missouri for a short time, and they were going to outlaw pit bulls in my town. Well, we had a pity mix, so we obviously were going to get rid of our dog. So we moved, and that inspired me to create the story about this dog that's feared by the public because of his breeding size, but he actually has a huge heart. So it's got a lot of, and I'll just show you real quick who's based on. We have you can tell we loved our dog. So this is who's based on.
That's beautiful.
This is him this is the cover for Alpha Dog.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it kind of keeps his memory alive, and it's like I said, it's got a lot of mystery to it. How the dogs got their powers in the first place, and this guy that's on this revenge plot, who's trying to use the dogs, he's developed this serum that once in possession of the dog's blood, he can create his own dogs with their own distinct abilities. So you have these other dogs that come in the series that can jump really far distances, some that are another one that's really smart. So we have a lot of combination of dogs, but it's very grounded. It's not goofy. It's, a lot of real events that go on. There's a lot of jealousy. And one of the themes is abandonment, where people, they'll get a dog and then they get a puppy, and they kind of push that dog aside. And it's kind of, with kids too, whenever, this parent is raising their kid and this boyfriend comes into their lives, and they kind of sometimes push their kids aside. So there's kind of a cautionary tale to the story, but at the same time, it's a fun adventure story with these dogs going on this journey to stop this dog that's the main villain called Monto from destroying a certain human.
Very cool. Very cool. So you've got an action adventure superhero. You've got supernatural detective or supernatural noir.
Yeah.
Then you got sci-fi. If you were going to do one more, what genre do you think you'd hit to kind of?
Well, if I can do it, and I would have to get really popular to do it. But I have a really great. It's a historical fiction. So back a few years ago, the Academy Awards, they put on a screenwriting contest every year, and the top 5 people get a chance to get their screenplay made into a movie. And 2 years in a row, I was a semifinalist for my script called The Weeping Trees.
I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so The Weeping Trees is historical fiction. It's a great script, and it only got better because I turned it into comic book form, fixed it up a little bit. So that would be a great one. I'd love to do it. So to give you kind of the elevator pitch, for Weeping Trees. It, like I said, historical fiction about this cowboy that goes to the Amazon jungle to build the railroad for transporting rubber. So back in 1911, 1920, when rubber for tires for cars, it was huge. Almost all of it came out of the Amazon jungle. And so what they decided to do, these rubber barons, these very rich people, think of like, a bunch of people in Congress, I guess you would say, but these rich people decided to build a railroad from one section of the Amazon jungle to the coast, to the ocean. Well, they ended up not only killing about was it 30,000 or 300? I think it was 30,000. Yeah, 30,000 workers died from Indian attacks or malaria, and 100,000 of the native Indians were killed because of trying to get them to either work on the rail or taking away their land. So it's a very volatile. And the worst part is the railway only lasted. It took I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. 8 years to build, and it was only in production for a year. And then they found out that there were rubber trees in England, and they transported the seeds. So it's a really great story that's never been told, and I would love to have that as a graphic novel, but it would be very expensive. So I'd have to make a lot of money in order to
right.
To do it.
I believe that. Cool. So, man, it's been awesome having you on the show. Can you give them one last quick elevator pitch for Dime Store Detectives? Why should they go check it out on Kickstarter right now?
Yeah, so if you head over to the Kickstarter, there's, like I said, there's a great trailer. If that doesn't pump you up to back the comic, I'm kind of out of ideas because it's a great trailer. Gives you a lot of information. It's fun. But it's like I said, if you like supernatural stories, if you like crime mysteries, if you like true crime, then you'd really enjoy it. It's a story about this detective that fights corruption, fights City Hall, kind of goes his own way, and he has to try to make this connection of the murders of the past in 1981, and this supernatural being has somehow returned to the present time, and there's a connection with this serial killer that's going on, and leaving these clues on his victims that really to draw the attention to the detective. So, it's a heart pounder. It's got a lot of cool. It's a lot of. It's kind of a thrill ride. You've got a lot of mystery, a lot of cool hooks, and like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. Go on my Facebook or whatever social media, and I post some of the reviews from the past ones, or type in Dime Store Detective review on YouTube, and you'll find them. You'll have some spoilers, but there's a lot of great reviews for the series. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to be anything you've ever read before. I can just about guarantee you.
Awesome. And you brought a really cool prize today for everybody. Can you tell them real quick what our winner is going to be taking home?
Yeah, so it's the digital version of Dime Store Detective issue 1. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I bet if you read that, you'll want to read the next ones, because I leave a pretty cool hook at the end, cliffhanger.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, and I hope the next time I hear from you, you guys are funded and things are kicking ass.
So do I. I appreciate having me on.
Have a good one, buddy.
You
Everybody,
too,
we will be right back after these awesome messages for some awesome trivia and a really great prize. See you in just a sec.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it.
So, the show is called The Geek Chat. And really, there's just a couple of geeks.
I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And we are your hosts for this weekly guide into comic bookery and all the geeky stuff that goes with it.
And that pretty much says it all. They talk about the latest movies and shows.
Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. Overall, D+ movie.
So the end. Did you know who that is?
That's She-Ra. Yeah.
Yes.
The new #1 comics of the week.
We rep Samuel Jackson and we rep Mace Windu.
I passed on this. I was like,
no regrets.
no regrets. I really wanted to like this book. I really did. Like, I really did.
And just chat with each other and with you.
Oh, Daniel says, I dosed off with the first one. I have zero interest in the Joker Harley ship, not Harley herself. Enjoy, not for me. Yeah, this movie's going to be rough for me to sit through, I'll be honest.
The Geek Chat, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just a couple of honest geeks.
Let's be honest. Come on.
And that is why people watch us, because we're honest.
Giving their honest opinions.
And the thing you always have to remember about the internet is everyone has an opinion, and they all suck.
Part of the experience. Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
And we are back. So good to see you guys. We got another good one. I've got 10 awesome trivia questions ready for you guys. And of course, we have that sweet, sweet prize pack. We have the digital copy of Dime Store Detectives. He's already sent it to me. So whoever wins, I'm just going to send it straight to you. So heck, even consider putting your email if you want right here, and I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Shout out if you're here so I know who to mark down for prizes. And I think we're going to get started ASAP. So, yeah, I still have some. We didn't get to all of our questions last week. So luckily it meant I didn't have to do quite as many. But you'll tell that at least this first one is definitely last week. Which 90s television heroes count August 28th as their day? That's right. Ileana's here. Sweet. Good to see you, hon. And Lewis is here. That is excellent. I can't read black and white, so I don't want to win. But okay, thank you, Eddie. That'd be great. Yeah, go ahead. Well, and hey, dude, you can win and then give it off to someone else if you want. It's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Good try, though, Lorena. They started as a TV program. Oh, okay. All right, Lorena. I'm seeing you. I see you, girl. Not Midnight on Apollo, not the Fantastic Four. We do have a correct answer, though. I do have a correct answer. That's for something. Go. And there you go, Ilyana. Ilyana comes in for the 2-pointer. It is indeed the Power Rangers. That's right. They have their own special day. I don't remember why, but they do. Good for them. And I'm still putting you down for a point there, Eddie. Mario Tennis was the introduction of what major franchise character? That's a tough one. Mario Tennis, I think that came out in like 2000 or something. So like it's a little far along. So yeah. Who did that introduce? We'll see. Oh, nothing so far. So, I mean, you've got Mario, Luigi. Holy crap. And then you have a correct answer really quick. Jeez. What did Jay say? Jay's awesome. August 28th, yeah, good job, Eddie. The anniversary date of the premiere. Yeah, okay, that's right. All right. Cool. And then Ilyana right behind. Did Lorena? No, okay. And then Ilyana right behind with the 2 points. And then we give a point. So far, just so you're aware, because of how it's happened so far, Lorena, Ilyana, and Lewis, you're all right down the middle. You all have 4 points. So, whee! It's a close one. Because summer sucks. Like, oh, Eddie, I see what you did there. Cool. Let's go for question number 3. Which Justice Leaguer is starring in the new Minecraft movie? And of course, if you give me the character, I'll be fine with it. But if you know the actor, that would be nice. Oh, right back at you, Eddie. Much love. I'm still going to mark it down for points. But if you only get 1 point at a time, you're not going to win. Okay. All right. I do have a correct answer already. They gave us the character, but that is fine. That is just dandy by me. I did ask the question that way. Jack. Okay, so Jack Black is in it. Good job, hun. But unless you can tell me that he was in Justice League, you're incorrect. There she goes. Ilyana did get it, though. 1, 2, and then a point for Lewis. Swims with the fishes. That's right. It is indeed Aquaman. Nicely done. Yeah, probably, right? He got, look, I didn't even watch the movie. So there's a chance he could have been in there somehow. And then I would have screwed myself with my own question. Points to you. You know what I mean? Veggie the Robot. TJ, all right, man. I'm going to put you down for some points. It's incorrect, but that's all right. You still get a point. Which don't we all wish our tests had been like that back in the day? That would have been wonderful. Really? Is that true? Jack Black could have been Green Lantern? I know they're looking at new Green Lanterns right now. And I forget who the big name. I believe I forget some of the names that they've been mentioning, but it's been some good ones. All right, guys. For those of you who know, and you do, I still, which Marvel villain was dropped into Fortnite today? Oh, we do know that Nathan Fillion will be Guy. That's cool. I think he would be an excellent Guy Gardner.
I don't know if it works for everybody. You might want to repeat that question because you locked up there for a second.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. Which Marvel villain was dropped into Fortnite today? Oh, comedic version. Okay. I was not aware of that. Not Magneto. Magneto was actually last season. Not MODOK. We do have a correct answer, though, so far. In fact, Lewis got the correct answer. So I'm going to give him those 3 points. Not Magneto. Not MODOK. Your mom. Damn it, Lewis. Now I have to give you. You're lucky you actually got it right because I would have had to give you the 2 points for that. Ilyana gets the 2. That's so funny. And then a point for Lorena. And guys, you did it up again. And TJ gets a point. It's tied again between the 3 of you guys. Just because the way you're playing, this is hilarious. All right, keep it up. We're gonna move on to, this is so much fun. Question number 5. What are the 2 September zodiac signs? Huh? That's a pretty good one. What are the 2 September? Is tonight Fortnite night? It was Fortnite day, and I played the crap out of it, and I had fun, and I got my Dr. Doom skin. That was good. We doing Viagra commercials? I mean, probably not the guy to be doing those commercials, but you know, I would accept the gig. Family, right? Okay, so yeah, Ilyana got the 3 points because she did get the 2 correct, and not Virgo and Capricorn. You got one of those right. You got one of them right, hon. So it's not Capricorn. I'll be nice. There we go. Lorena, 1, 2. Okay, and then I'll make sure that TJ and Lewis each get a point. Virgo and Libra. And it's funny because my kiddo is a Virgo and my wife is a Libra. My oldest kid turns 23 tomorrow. Jeez, damn. Not a fan. Eddie trying to get us booted from here, right? What was the question? I mean, it's done now. Yeah, the September signs. Yeah. Cool. Let us do question 6. The Stephen King novel 11/22/63 is about going back in time to stop what event? It might be. Speaking of Eddie, I have to say I'm a little hurt that you are blaming your computer troubles on my big cash. All right? I get made fun of my big cash all the time. And I don't need you making fun of me too. Oh, yeah, we got one. Lorena's jumping in there for the 3 points. And between Lewis and Ilyana, this is going to come down to the wire, guys. The frickin' wire. I think my cash is sexy too. Thank you. Eddie getting the EXP booted. Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, Ilyana. Ilyana got the 2 points. And then boom and boom. Okay, thank you. Stephen King. Okay, I don't know what that's about. I like Stephen King. Canceled, yeah, right? Okay, question 7. How many U.S. vice presidents have moved on to later become president? This number might change in the future. We don't know. And I, as currently a public figure, am not stating how I feel one way or the other. Though being a Canadian, it wouldn't matter how I felt. Yeah, it is a good number. Yeah, Eddie said too damn many. It's 3, 4, like much higher. Let's do this for you guys. Double digits. It's in the double digits. And seeing how there's been what, 40, are we on our 46th president? So yeah, double 12 is considerably closer, hon. 12 is considerably closer. Not 12, not 11, not 69. I appreciate both of you that threw them down at the same time. Eddie, I love you so much. But did you actually know that yourself, Eddie? Or you just, you see, yeah. And then we got Ilyana jumping in 1, 2, 3. Lorena gets the 1, 2. And then, of course, I'll make sure everybody gets a point. So you did? No, dude, that's impressive as hell, man. I'm not even going to screw with you. That's really impressive. Q6? Is that a poker hand? Okay. 15 vice presidents have moved on to become president. Have a daughter in college wanting to be a teacher. So, oh, that's cool, Eddie. That's freaking cool. Yeah, no, that's neat though. Okay, question 8. How old was the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't remember the name. I can't even give you any more information about why they won it or anything. Just, yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay. I was like, I have a better idea of what you're looking for, Lorena, but I don't know if I can just give it to you. But you did get it in before everyone. Oh, that's terrible, Eddie. Terrible, terrible. Can't believe you made that joke. And then Ilyana right behind, and Lewis still around. How many prime ministers of Canada can you name? Is it one? It's more than one, but not many. Cool. Yeah. So it was 17. They were 17 years old. Yeah, that's true, Eddie. It would be very difficult for you to shock me. Cool. Yeah. So 17. Here we go. Question 9. What is the only known disease to have been eradicated according to the World Health Organization? It's the only disease to be eradicated. That's an interesting thought. The answer is small. It's a small answer. Not polio. Apparently polio isn't completely eradicated. Not influenza. The flu is still around. Not donkey pox. Donkey pox. Lewis comes in. Oh, no, yeah, not COVID either. But Lewis comes in with the correct answer. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Ilyana's right behind with the 2-pointer. Give a point to Lorena. It is indeed, my friends, smallpox. That's correct. We've got one question left, and I'm telling you, right now, there's 1 point between first and second, and another 3 points behind for third. So, hey, Rayla, what's going on? Yeah, we are. We got just a couple more minutes. In fact, we have one last question. Rayla, let's see if you can get the answer to this one. This is a tough one. This is a little tougher than you think. You have to really listen to the words on this one. When did the Beatles officially break up? Officially. People left the band and there was stuff, but when did they officially break up? It is definitely anyone's game. That's why if Rayla answers the question, it'll really throw you guys for a loop. Not 69. Not 69. That's when band members started leaving. But it actually took a while to legally dissolve the band, which is funny. So, holy crap. I think, yeah. All right. So we did get our 3-pointer. And it's not 1970. We got our 3-pointer. Yes, Jay, definitely before you were born. It's in the 70s, and we do have a correct answer. And in fact, that pretty much that gives us our winner. But someone's got to get 1999. Not 73, Rayla, but you're super close. Yeah, big old legal battle. Exactly. Big old legal battle. Yeah. So GG's. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'll give points out, but regardless, we do have our first place. For so long, it had adopted to the point where we couldn't pass it to any other animal. So once everyone was vaccinated, it went extinct. That's interesting. Thank you, JD. It was 1974. It was 1974. It took 4 years to legally disband the Beatles. Actually, more than that. So I think Lennon and Paul might have both left in 69. So yeah, it took a bit. But regardless, today's winner, wasn't that just before? I think you're right. I think you're right, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, hit me up, Rayla. I will definitely look into that. There's definitely been some issues, and I'm doing this one on my own now, so it's a little difficult. Everyone blames Yoko. Everyone does. It's not just you, Lorena. Guys, register for your prizes. Today's winner is Ileana. Way to go. You get that first issue of John Dexter's Dime Store Detective, which is on Kickstarter right now. Everyone run out there, make sure to go check it out. Thank you so much for John for coming on the show. Thank you so much for my dude JD. Thank you to the EXP. Thank you to all of you, because I love hanging out with you guys. And since no one swore today, my name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. I will see all of you guys next week. Have a good one.